welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. Welcome to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for your beautiful, kind comments. And a special thank you to everyone who has reached out to Etsy and to Instagram this week to throw your hat in the ring for the free mini read on Instagram. And thank you to everyone who has dropped comments below my readings for your chance to win a free reading from me here on YouTube as well. And be sure to drop your comment below if you're finding yourself here for the very first time. I would love to read for you. I offer a chance to win a free read for anyone who drops comments below my readings. I will be drawing multiple names for that each month, so be sure to drop your comment below and be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you are chosen the winner. For today's pick a card reading, however, we're looking at the month of November in love for you. So what's going to happen in love in November for you? Maybe you're single, maybe you're in a relationship, but what does the month of November look like in love for you? We have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the pink quartz and this Knight of Wands. Pile number 2 with the green aventurine and the Knight of Cups. And we have pile number 3 with the red jasper and the Knight of Pentacles. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting today. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, it's all about November love predictions today. What's going to happen for you in love in the month of November? Pile number 1. Hello, pile 1. You were drawn to the pink quartz. Put that over here. Or to the Knight of Wands here. So maybe you're seeing a fire sign. Maybe you're just out, having fun and exploring. The Knight of Wands is all about impulsive energy. You can see there's a huge fireworks here. So this can be indicative of like fireworks for you in the month of November, which is really exciting. And the Knight of Wands does prioritize exploration and having fun. So November could be a really sort of wonderful month for you. So let's hope that's the case. Let's take a look here. And take a look at, I'll use this deck. The month of November, please, for pile number 1. What is coming in love for November for pile 1? We have here the 3 of Cups. It's coming out in the it was coming out semi-reversed in the reverse position. But we'll put it in the upright for now. Happening in love, please? Ace of Pentacles. I feel like in the month of October there was a flirtation that didn't really pan out for you, and it could have been sort of disappointing. You didn't really feel like it was a mutual, or there was a mutual attraction there. So you're going into November feeling a little bit vulnerable. Feeling a little, it's like gun shy is what I'm hearing. I'm a little bit gun shy to kind of approach or to seek new things. But Spirit wants, there's an emphasis on Aquarius here, so you could be in Aquarius energy. But what's interesting about the Aquarius and what's coming forward right now is the fact that, the Aquarius is the star that we follow. It's the hope that we follow. So if you experience some disappointment in October, Spirit says don't let that steal your focus. Because November perhaps brings brand new opportunities, brand new focus. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Strength reversed. Now you may be attracted to the Knight of Wands card, but you have a Knight of Cups coming forward here. They could definitely be a Leo, or you could be the Leo energy here because we have the Strength reversed. There's a lack of confidence that's being affecting you, or that will affect you in the month of October. Here's the Page of Cups. And there's the World. So you have something new popping up for you this month. And it's exciting, and you're going to have to take a leap of faith towards it if you want to have success. You're going to have to keep your heart space vulnerable. This person's coming in really good looking, which I feel like almost makes you feel more insecure about the potential. Because, again, I feel like there was a situation that disappointed you in October. A flirtation, a friendship even that maybe was a little bit more than a friendship that was really kind of disappointing in October and made you feel kind of vulnerable about expansion in general. We have the Two of Pentacles, but what Spirit says here is that if we can keep our heart space vulnerable and follow their good advice to take this leap of faith into this new chapter, this can result in a real relationship. They want you to spend the month of November exploring that, though. They don't want you to feel like you have to place that expectation on yourself or this person, but this opportunity, when planted, Because the Ace of Pentacles is kind of like a seed for me. We plant an opportunity and then we wait for it to ripen. We wait for it to have a breakthrough. And so there's an emphasis on something being planted in November for you that can ultimately lead to a beautiful relationship with the Two of Cups. So the emphasis on you keeping your heart space open. Even though you're feeling vulnerable going into November, don't be afraid of this next chapter. The reason why you were kind of disappointed in the past here was because it wasn't meant for you. That wasn't the pathway for you that will amount to your satisfaction, your happiness. There's something really good. It's like you guys match each other's frequency really well with this new person coming in for November because you're both really good looking. There's a sense of you looking really good together. And you're going to go out and have a lot of fun with this person. And they prioritize you. I feel like they really make you feel special when they come forward. Like their attention is on you. This is not the type of person that sort of takes you out and then focuses elsewhere. They make you feel really special. So maybe they bring you a gift or something. The Knight of Cups is very traditional in that sense. They could bring you chocolate or a gift or flowers or something, but they make you feel really special, which helps to kind of bolster the ego that was kind of took a hit here in October, or maybe the months leading up to November. I feel like your ego took a hit, but this person's like, they're making you feel so special. And to be honest with you, Spirit says you're going to be really happy if you keep your heart space open here. For someone watching, and this isn't for everyone, this could lead to a long-term relationship. Honestly, with the Ten of Cups, sometimes that takes us all the way to the end. You know, that takes us all the way to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You can see here with the Ten of Cups that her hair is kind of, it looks like it's just been in braids and it's been released after a night of sleeping in braids. And so there's this feeling of relaxing, being able to relax and to surrender to a new position, to a new sense of stability as well. And to a new position of status, I just heard. So again, the seeds being planted in November. We're not going to make it to the Ten of Cups by the end of November. That's like trying to, you know, jump across a lake. But we're planting beautiful seeds and we have to take the risk to do that. So don't let whatever's kind of frustrated you or left you disappointed or hurt your ego, don't carry that into November. Carry a vulnerable heart space. Let that person that perhaps fueled some of this insecurity, let them have whatever they chose, and you're choosing something new because it's going to lead you to so much more. That's why you have so many major arcanic themes here. That's why the center of your reading is so profound with the star and the moon, because something's about to be revealed to you in November, and it's really worthwhile taking the shot. This Nine of Pentacles guarantees that if you take that heart space of vulnerability and apply it, you're going to be happy with the results that you achieve here. So Spirit is excited about that for you. Let's see. What else can you tell me about November love predictions for pile number 1? Can you tell me about this new relationship forming? There could be an aspect of online communication with this. It's not for everyone, but there's an aspect of online for someone here. So you could be communicating with someone online. That could be where you meet this person. New moon in Virgo. And the month of November for you is all about trusting that everything's going to work out. Everything's going to work out. Even though this new chapter makes you feel vulnerable because you're coming from a disappointment, it's about staying focused here. And I like that energy because I feel like this person coming in for you is kind of dependable, even though they're young, like they feel young. They feel like they have a long way to go in life, but they are a dependable person, a traditional person. Open up to change, because November is going to give you an opportunity to cool down your emotions. It's also going to test your insecurities here in full moon in Aries. And when I see the ram like that, I can't help but be drawn to the goat ears. And I think sometimes about attachments and insecurity with the Capricorn energy. We have assessed the situation, the first quarter moon in Virgo. And so that's what this assessment is about, the Virgo energy of retreat. It's asking us to ground ourselves to a new chapter. It's about separating the past from the present moment. Because sometimes when we are in close succession to disappointment, to new opportunities, sometimes we can't sort of see the forest through the trees and some of that muddled, unclear thinking. And they're never going to force you to kind of take that leap of faith. They'll never do that, but they're never going to force you to take that leap of faith in November, but they strongly encourage it for you, pile 1, because this is at stake. And it's going to test your strength. You're not going to be sure if you'll have the strength to be able to accomplish, to be able to open up. But I feel like this person kind of makes it easy for you, to be honest. We have here, focus on love. Look for the good in everyone. And you can see she's staring down the dragon, because that's what November is going to bring you, is going to bring you this, some insecurity with new opportunities, because change brings automatic fear a little bit. But focus on love, focus on abundance, focus on expansion. And then we have slow down, pause, and allow things to unfold. I love this. It's number 9. There has been an emphasis on Virgo for you too. So you could be a Virgo. This person perhaps coming forward could be a Virgo. And what they want you to know is November is about the seeds being planted. And what I love about November is that I live in Canada. So right now in November, our ground is about to freeze. So once we put that seed in the ground, it gets frozen and locked in place. And then we have the opportunity to spend the winter, to spend some time exploring this, having fun, going out together, and allowing all of those experiences to melt that heart space. Back of the deck says, back to what you truly love, reevaluate your desires. It's number 3 because we came from that 3 of Cups reversed, but we're moving into satisfaction. We're moving into the 10 of Cups. So it may feel like we have a huge leap or a huge sort of amount of actions that we have to take to get there. But Spirit says all they want you to do is surrender to this next chapter, because you deserve it. You deserve to have something positive come in for you in love. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 1. What can you tell me about November? And this person coming forward, what sort of person is this? Emphasis on Virgo, emphasis on Leo. You could be the Leo, they could be the Virgo, or vice versa. We do have the 5 of Wands in the reversal. We have the Strength here as well. What I love about it is that with the 5 of Wands reverse, it's talking about success and problems being resolved and overcoming our lack of strength, overcoming our fear. But you can see that the Hermit, he's grounded. He's in a state of limbo. It's an emphasis on 9. We have the 9 here of slow down. It's about you allowing things to unfold naturally, not putting any undue pressure on yourself or the situation. Because Spirit just said there's plenty of time for commitments. This is a time for fun. This is a time for exploration. We do have the snake. We have the letter J. I think about temptations. I think about fear. We have she reversed. We also have here the butterfly of transformation, and it's wrapped up in the handsaw. So there's an aspect of like taking a long time or taking a slow amount of time to explore, to allow that internal transformation to catch up to our external world. We have here Sagittarius, a very strong emphasis on fire. The Star of Aquarius, twice we have that shade of gray in one of the stars, an emphasis on kind of moving into this. It's like we're in a state of gray in this moment. It's like we're feeling passive. It's like we're feeling humdrum about the future in general when it comes to love. But we have the vulnerable heart here of Jesus with the Sacred Heart, about keeping that heart space open. The white flower of hope. And there's the Sacred Heart of Jesus for a second time, and made with love, to remind you who you are, to remind you what you're made of, and to remind you what to lead from, which is love and a heart space of it. All right, pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates, and I'm excited for your November chapter to open up. I would love to hear from you in the comment section, even if you have to come back to drop me a comment after November. I would love to hear how this resonated with you. If it did resonate with you, I'd love to hear from you, of course, but please drop your comment anyway, even if it's a heart or something, so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my links below for Etsy for a personal reading, or for Instagram, where I often will offer a chance to win a free mini read. But I hope that you come back and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the Green Adventurine and to the Knight of Cups, and this is your reading. What are your November love predictions? What is coming in? Who is coming in November? The Knight of Cups is a really shiny armored knight. This is a new emotional start, perhaps somebody who's being vulnerable to bring forward an offer. It could also require sort of the strength inside of you to be vulnerable, to accept an offer that could be coming in November in love for you. This could be an emphasis on Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy as well. So this could be you, this could be your person, but let's take a look here. November love predictions, please, for pile number 2. What is happening in November in love? We have the Moon, Scorpio. November love predictions. Ooh, Six of Pentacles. I feel someone has been building a rapport with someone. I keep hearing communication and building a rapport. It's like you could be already communicating with somebody. There could be an emphasis on online, potentially even. We have the Page of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Strength. I like that. The Hanged Man. And you're going to feel inspired to take action towards this. If the communication hasn't started, it's going to start in November. And there is an opportunity for us to follow our intuition to come towards a new emotional start, a new relationship. But it's like we have to surrender to action and surrender to our strength and not surrender to our fear here, because otherwise we're going to let that insecurity, that fear, vulnerability get to us. We have the Ace of Wands and we have the Chariot. Emphasis on Cancer energy, emphasis on Leo energy as well, and Scorpio. What's interesting here is that there's this aspect of movement and travel in the month of November for you. So you could even be traveling perhaps with this person, or get the opportunity to travel to this person, especially if you're feeling inspired to take action in some way. And that's what Spirit says you're going to be doing. It's going to start in communication in November. And again, for someone, not for everyone, I'm just getting a different deck here. For someone, this has already been applied. It's like we're building a rapport. We've already started communicating with someone. For others, this communication will pop up unexpectedly in November, maybe around mid-month. We have the Six of Wands. And it's interesting because it's the beginnings of things, because Spirit says you're going to be communicating and you're both going to be putting forward your best face. That's why the Knight of Cups started your entire reading, because there's an emphasis on masks being worn, but it's not in a negative way. It's like when we are projecting our best projection possible when we first meet someone, right? It's like someone being super polite around you and never swearing around you and just trying to make themselves really look like something you want to hang out with, like someone you want to spend your time with. So there's this aspect of both of you doing that too during the communication phase, and then sort of feeling the necessity to take some sort of action. So it's going to be implied that we're going to have to take action with the Knight of Swords. And you know, the Knight of Swords doesn't wait to gather all of the information. He sometimes acts really impulsively. He'll gather what he thinks is enough, and then he'll just start, and then he'll just start running with it. And so there's this feeling of a pressure to connect, or pressure to actually, again, travel to meet each other in some way in November. And that's going to test your strength. That's going to make you feel really insecure, Spirit says. But they say that it's worth it. The sun is shining, and the outcome here, when this little child is vulnerable, all of a sudden the walls get knocked down and the sun shines over the perceived obstacles. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Cups. And we have the King of Swords. Back of the deck is the Six of Cups, and we have the Five of Swords. Now, the Six of Cups can speak about somebody returning from the past. So a friendship energy returning from the past, so that could resonate with you. It also speaks about a soulmate contract and a friendship situation that could evolve into much more as well. And again, there's a generosity with the Knight of Cups and with this person. There's a sense of us having to collaborate and work together to overcome the challenges and the insecurities, because there is internal conflict here from a divine masculine energy and from the divine feminine. So you're both going to be feeling really insecure equally. There's a definite sort of mirrored energy between the two of you. And with the Knight of Swords, there's advice coming from your guides to like rip the Band-Aid off. When we're at that point of fear, when we feel the most vulnerable, when we are feeling pulled to create change, it's about ripping the Band-Aid off and just acting, because they say that fear and overcoming it will be rewarded. And we have the Nine of Cups here. If we can just surrender to the opportunity, surrender in November to this change that's coming in, we're going to be rewarded with clarity. We're going to be rewarded with a positive outcome ultimately. And I want to clarify to see what that positive outcome is and what it looks like for some. but there's an emphasis on having to physically travel to see each other in some sort of way. Maybe not a huge distance, but having to like find the strength to push our chariot in the direction of each other. Because there's a lot of insecurity. It's like we build up a rapport together and we get to know each other a little bit through communication. But then, and there's an aspect of that of like familiarity between the two of you, and even an emotional connection between the two of you. But then we have to physically meet. It's like a fear. Clarify the sun, please. The King of Swords. It's the King of, and it's the female King of Swords. There's an aspect here of really kind of meeting your counterpart, to be honest. And so there's an emphasis on communication in November for you. The person that's coming in for you is really smart. They're really intelligent, they're really smart, but they're also a sensitive person. So they're a beautiful mix, to be honest, of like emotions and intelligence. I feel like they could be the Cancer energy, maybe even Pisces energy, but there's an air element to them too, because they're really intelligent, they're a smart person, they think well on their feet. Sometimes there's natural entrepreneurial energy with this King of Swords, but I don't feel like this person is necessarily an entrepreneur, but they've got great ideas. They've got great ideas to implement. There is an aspect here with the King of Pentacles, and there's that Five of Cups. There's the Page of Swords reverse. Spirit will never tell us what to do, but they say that we may find some regret in not taking action here. It's like we'll never regret, you know, taking action. We'll never regret being ourselves or speaking our truth, or we won't regret, but we'll regret all these chances that we never took. So they're encouraging, they're encouraging you to take that leap of faith. But they never want to force it. These readings are for informational purposes so that you can make a discernible choice with the opportunities that come in for you. We have here success, bloom wherever you are planted. We have courage. It's coming in the reversal. But look at what's at stake. In the clearing of these trees is this huge foundation, is this huge castle. A huge transformation is possible here for this connection. And for someone, not for everyone perhaps, but for someone, this could lead to even ultimate commitments. So there's this aspect of powering through the insecurities to find the success. And we have the sun waiting for us on the end of the day. We have miracles. I love that the rainbow is here. It reminds me of the Ten of Cups, of the full spectrum, and the pot of gold that's waiting for us as well if we power through the obstacles and take action. Month of November, please. Speak your world into being. And it says new moon in Gemini, and it's starting with communication in November for you, pile 2. You're going to start speaking to this person before you actually meet up with this person. So there is an online component to it. And then we have here, believe in your good luck. It's coming in reverse because there is an insecurity here that's associated with it. And then we have the Nine of Cups sitting right on the other side because there's a huge leap from the Four of Pentacles to the Nine of Cups. One is deep-seated insecurity and one's getting everything they wanted. And so there's this sense of like, how did we bridge the gap so quickly of meeting someone and then getting what I want? It's like feeling really gratified and feeling really fulfilled with the actions that I took, feeling smug that I took the positions that I took as well. It says work through your feelings here on the back of the deck. And you know what's interesting is that I feel like you guys are going to communicate about your insecurities about meeting each other, which is kind of refreshing, to be honest, to both of you kind of laying it out on the table, both of you being really emotionally vulnerable with each other. You're going to communicate about that fear. The month of November, please, in love for pile number 2. We have here simple acts of kindness. Kindness energizes you and brings happiness to those around you. And we also have here, I love you. It says these are powerful words. It's the 20 reversed, which is talking about the fear of change. There's this aspect of communication, again, communicating a lot and even communicating a lot of deep-seated connection emotions. Like you guys are going to be talking about feelings quite a bit as well. You won't go so far as to say those 3 words in that communication phase, but there is this, it's almost like there's an implied emotional connection or emotional attachment or emotional relationship before we even begin the practical relationship. And there's a little bit of a fear in that. There's a fear of change. There's a fear of making the wrong decision. There's the fear in acting too quickly and meeting too quickly, for instance, but that's why there's an emphasis on just acting when we get the courage. Like when we're inspired with courage, that's when we take action. We don't wait for the fear to come in and attach itself to the force or to the inspiration. We have here, the only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus back to love. And if we can do that, if we can keep our focus on love, then we won't have enough energy or wherewithal to keep it focused on anything in the lack department. And so that can really help us. If we can keep our head high and follow the sun, that's the natural outcome we're going to see sort of evolve for us in the present moment. So lots of good things happening for you in November, pile 2. Lots of movement. You could already be talking to this person. If you're not, you'll start talking to them. We have the Lovers, the Queen of Wands, everything sideways in the bowl of the world, emphasis on the internet. We have the, if we turn everything this way, we have the Lovers reverse. It's like a connection that we feel instantaneously. It's like a really deep-seated connection, very mirrored soul paths perhaps as well. Emphasis on Gemini. There is this feeling of being afraid to make a decision, being afraid I'm going to make the poor decision, being afraid of taking a risk. And there's also this aspect of like keeping yourself waiting for the success that wants to come in for you, keeping your person waiting. So the Queen of Wands, she's supposed to be focused. And so that's what Spirit is hoping that this reading will help give you, is some focus in the present moment so that you don't get influenced so heavily with fear when you're being called to take action in November. Just remember that November is setting a stage. Spirit says it sets a stage for December and January and February. So we're taking care of the present moment. We have H and K being significant in letters today. We have U. We have here the crystal ball. We have Pisces energy with the fish. And we have cassette. So I think about outdated thinking and replaying events over in my mind. We have the butterfly of transformation, and we do have a hospital connection. So it could be a work connection here, or there could be shifts and changes within the hospital dynamic. Maybe there's and it's reverse. So there could be an emphasis with hospital in your immediate energy right now. So take that as it resonates. All right, pile 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, I would love to hear your story in the comment section below, even if you do have to come back. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel as well and become a part of our soul family. If you do, be sure to drop your comment and hit your notification bell so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading. And I also offer a chance to win a free mini read over on Instagram, and that link is below too, so you can check me out there. And I also offer private readings through my Etsy account, and that link is below. But I hope that you come back and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the red jasper and to the Knight of Pentacles, and this is your reading. November love predictions. What is going to happen for you in love in the month of November? The Knight of Pentacles is talking about slow, steady progress. It talks about expansion. You can see the beautiful succulent here. And it's really talking about even potentials towards commitments as well. And it's asking for focus. So hopefully that is a sign of things to come, or perhaps you're in a relationship and you want to know if November will be the time where there'll be more advancement. So let's take a look here. So what is going to happen in the month of November in love for pile number 3, please? It could be too that some of your hope is waning because you could be waiting. The Knight of Pentacles is talking about patience. And so you could be sort of waiting for movement and change and not finding any. We have the King of Cups and being frustrated about how slow things are going. We have the Three of Cups. We have the King of Swords. November love predictions, please. We have the Knight of Cups. And we have the King of Pentacles. Back of the deck is the Two of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to clarify this as we go here. The month of November in love, please, for pile number 3. What is happening in November? Three of Wands. For some, I feel like you're in relationships or you're exploring something. You're in some sort of flirtation. There's an emphasis on going out and having fun, and there's an emphasis here too on like remembrances of that. So there's this feeling of like this stage of life of just having fun and just playing around, that this should come to a close now and we should establish where we're at. Like we should establish where our connection is going. So it feels like you're already in something, or you want it to be something solid, because we want to expand from this Knight of Cups reversed into this King of Pentacles ultimately. And the Three of Wands is talking about this expansion of being ready to sort of move on to another chapter. Because I've just focused on the poppies here at the bottom as well. And there's an emphasis on sort of leaving this chapter behind. Even though it's fun, it's an emphasis on fun and flirtation and going out, keeping things very loosey-goosey. It's not really a commitment phase, but we're sort of feeling burdened by that period of time. It's like we're feeling frustrated with the unknowns. It's like this person that you're perhaps communicating with or having fun with or going out with is not expressing a lot of emotional attachment at this time, or they're just with the King of Swords. It's like they're I don't want to say they're acting cold towards you, but they're just not showing the emotion that you want to see. The vulnerability. It's like you want to move this out of like just having fun into something more connected. It's like you want to crack the code of this person. You have the Queen of Swords. And I almost just heard ultimatum. There's like this feeling of you putting your expectations out on the line and communicating your desires, your expectations. Then we have the Fool. And it's because of this communication. It's like you have a conversation with this person that you're just hanging out with and just having fun with. And it's like you come to them and you say, where are we? What are we? What are we? And this sort of applies a little bit of a pressure to be more emotionally vulnerable for the Divine Masculine at this time. And it's not necessarily that they may not be ready to be emotionally vulnerable, but it may be exactly what they need to be able to move out of a cycle and into something more committed with you. It's like they are afraid to take that risk. We have the Magician. But there's this emphasis on the Divine Feminine kind of taking back control of the narrative. She's taking back control of the situation. She's demanding answers. There's a sense of like demanding answers. We have the Devil and the Queen of Wands. You could be a fire sign if you're the Divine Feminine. You could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but there's a huge emphasis here on air energy. So Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. There's this emphasis here too on not wanting to be kept waiting though, and feeling really insecure about where the path is leading. And so November, I feel like, is all about communication and you setting your boundaries with this person. And what I do see is that this person is more willing to move into a commitment cycle than you realize, actually. They're just feeling vulnerable about that. And maybe they're feeling vulnerable because they're waiting for what you're about to say in November. And this could happen about mid-November, where you're kind of questioning, where is this headed? And then you have a conversation with this person. But it almost feels like they're just kind of, they're waiting for you to lead by example. And so you get tired of the wait, you get tired of the slow delays here. And this feeling of like, eventually we'll move into a cycle. Eventually we'll do this. Eventually we'll talk about our feelings. And it's like, there's this insecurity looming over that. And it's like, you say, I'm done with the eventuals. I want to know if you're willing to move into a more committed cycle with me, or I'm wanting to know if you want to take a risk and explore the possibilities of moving in that direction. And that seems to help gain momentum. It does sort of still worry the Divine Masculine. Can we clarify the King of Pentacles, please, and the Magician? The Ace of Wands. But I love that we have the Two of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, because combined, that's the Three of Pentacles. We're starting a new foundation. And it's baby steps, perhaps, to get there. In November, it's just the beginnings. It's the conversation of where is this headed, and us starting the process of vulnerability and taking those risks in what we're talking about in November, because we're moving it out of a exploratory, just fun phase and into something more real, or into something more clarified and refined, truly. There's a lot of nerves surrounding the situation, surrounding you and this person. So there's like a lot of insecurity, feeling like the King of Swords might feel like the he's under a microscope a little bit, and there's a lot of expectations on them. So there is this sense of approaching delicately. Oops. And we have the Strength and the Knight of Swords. And truthfully, I feel like it's really hard for you to speak your truth here. It's really hard for you because you don't want to disappoint this person. You really like them. And you feel like this is a really good match. And you feel like this is something that could really, the two of you could work really well in a relationship dynamic. And you don't want to mess up the fun that you're having. You don't want to mess up their attraction to you because you really like them. So there's this emphasis on you taming your fears in order to speak your truth. Even here with the Knight of Swords on her skirt, it says, is the right worth the cost? So is speaking my truth worth the risk that I'm taking and being vulnerable here? Now, I feel like November will emphasize in the fun and then emphasize in this communication cycle. And truthfully, I feel like the relationship, the communication is going to continue. And there's a sense of you kind of lighting a fire under this person because you've now placed your expectations out on the table. You've left no stone unturned. You're not leaving anything in the shadows. Your requirements, your expectations are out there. You feel like it's a risk and it makes you feel vulnerable, but it's your truth, right? It's what you want. And so there's nothing wrong with saying that. Now, this person may have a difficult time sort of surrendering to all of your expectations. It may take them some time to catch up to be able to get into that commitment cycle. But Spirit says that this person will ultimately, it's like their planning phase is in November, and ultimately you will move into a more of a foundation in a relationship here with this person, because even there's an emphasis on Hanged Man. And after you sort of express yourself in November, it's about you surrendering to what's going to be revealed to you in their actions moving forward. If they're able to maintain the vulnerability, if they're able to move into that commitment cycle and sort of eliminate distractions, eliminate other temptations, because the proof will be in the actions that follow after all of that communication happens. November love predictions, please. What's happening in the month of November? We have here family reversed, 51 in the reversal. And there's an emphasis on the wolf spirit. There's an emphasis on this one sort of lone wolf energy. And then there's these two wolves underneath. So there's like an independent spirit that wants to get moved into a relationship. But again, I feel like this person's not ready for complete commitment cycles. And November is going to discuss that. November is going to sort of explore the emotional space of this attraction and this really fun connection. Because I feel like in the beginnings of November, it's just you guys meeting, having fun, going out. But there's such a strong attraction. You see so much potential in this person and in the connection itself that it's like you want to know, is there a possibility for more here? We have here going with the flow, meandering path. I will say this, Spirit is adamant that even after November, after these communications, things will progress and continue on. But there is an emphasis on after you speak your truth, because you're growing sort of impatient to kind of define the relationship, you may still need to exercise some of that patience to get that definition into a place of commitment. So it may still, they're still asking you to surrender to the flow. You can see it almost looks like the hermit energy of keeping focus as he takes baby steps towards the ultimate goal, which is perhaps commitments, maybe even a family unit. But again, we're not there in November, and that's okay. We have here Storm, Spirit, Chaos, number 42 on the back of that deck. Whoops. And this energy is really speaking about the confidence you're going to have to show to bring your truth to the light. There's a fear of bringing my awareness open. It reminds me of the Tower energy about bringing forward epiphanies, and it speaks about permanent change that we're wanting to move into, but also kind of afraid. So it's like you're wanting to move into permanent change, but the Divine Masculine's a little bit fearful of that. And it's all about energy. It has nothing to do with gender. So it's just if you are not the Divine Feminine, that's okay too. What's happening in November, please? On the back of the deck, we have Take a Breather. It's in the reversal. Take a breather. We also have here, release your blocks. And back of the deck says, step up and lead, new moon in Capricorn. And that's exactly what the Divine Feminine is doing in November. It's like they are defining the connection. They're defining a really fiery, fun connection, because it feels like you guys are having a lot of fun, or you will have a lot of fun in the beginnings of November. And so now it's like you're stepping up to lead by example. You're asking for definition. You're asking for a projection of what is possible in the future of this connection. And then ultimately they're asking, the blocks here, they're asking you to surrender your insecurities when you come forward with this truth, but they're also asking you to release your expectations after that point. They say once you step up and lead by example, you have to move into an awareness position where you observe whether or not this person can apply the force that's necessary and the necessary vulnerability to get to this position of security in relationships. But nothing ventured, nothing gained, Spirit says. And there's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of potential here to continue that build. It may feel like a slow build, but it's building nonetheless. It says act as if your partner is here, whether you have someone in your life or not. Act as if you have them, so you'll always consider them. Number 17. Aquarius energy. It's about focus, Spirit says. So November is all about the focus of your relationship. A relationship that could already be in the works, or already sort of be established in some sort of flirtation, or some sort of even a friends with benefits situation perhaps. So take it as it resonates to your situation. It feels like it's already in place before November hits, or before November is here. But not for everyone. We have be authentic. Be real and true to who you are and how you truly feel. And embrace your emotions. It says allow your feelings to surface and be accepted. It was coming in the reverse. We have the Knight of Cups as well, which is talking about the vulnerability that's required to embrace our emotions. And so there's a fear in that. The 18 is about revealing what's been suppressed, and the fear of the unknown. So that's sort of where you're going to be coming from when you're aiming for authenticity and aiming for clarity in the situation. It's like you're really going to take the bull by the horns and really lead by example. As your card said, you're going to be leading by example. And this is exactly, I feel like, what your person needs in order to create ascension in your connection. They need a little bit of a push. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for you, pile number 3. What's happening in November? What can you tell me that comes in after November with this connection? So in the bowl today, we have the 9 of Wands, we have the Magician reversed, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Now, the Magician is all about control, all about the reversal. It's about not communicating what we truly feel and having a lot of wasted potential. And that's what we're feeling. It's like there's so much potential here. If I don't speak something, if I don't tell them what I see evolving between us, then I'll never know. And there's this aspect of stress associated with communicating this next chapter, communicating your desires, communicating your wants. But Spirit says that if we nothing ventured, nothing gained. If we never ever speak our truth, then we're just going to be left feeling frustrated with all of these wands. And so there's a sense of feeling exhaustion and feeling exhaustion. Feeling exhausted by the unknowns, feeling exhausted by the uncertainty of the future, and really wanting, and that exhaustion, that frustration that you're feeling can help us if we can transmute it into force, and the force that's required to communicate what we truly want and taking that risk. Because there's so much potential in this connection. You're 100% right, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. We have here the Hammer, putting in work. We have feel, emphasis on feelings, P and V. We have the Happy Cloud, because there's this fear, but there's more positive sort of results than we can anticipate in a lot of those worries that can continue to ruminate through our mind. We have here the Chariot energy with the bicycle. It has no rider and it's reversed. So it's like a lack of direction. It's like we could feel like we're in a friendship realm or friendship zone. We could be feeling like our connection is, it's like we need to move to the next phase because we need to mature to that next phase, because there's an emphasis on youth. We have the hospital, and there could be a hospital nursing connection. That charm came in pile number 2 as well. We also have here wishes do come true, and we have the temptation of the siren and the mermaid. We have the Six of Wands. Confidence will be your best friend, and even if you have to fake it till you make it, it can help to bring your truth to the surface. We also have a penny, I think about opportunity and communication. It's from 2008. We have Pisces energy, and we also have here a dime from 2014. I think about October, the 10th of any month. So you may have started seeing this person perhaps mid-October. All right, my dear, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. And if it did, I would love to hear your stories below in the comments section. And I would love for you to subscribe to the channel and become a beautiful part of our soul family here. I have amazing subscribers, amazing supportive community in the comment section as well. So be sure to subscribe and hit your notification bell and drop your comments so that I can enter you in for a chance to win that free reading with me as well. You can also check out my links below for Etsy for a personal reading or for Instagram. That is listed below. But I hope that you come back and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.